she wants children and is willing to wait till I'm ready to have them. Whereas right now, I feel very strongly on not wanting to have children at all. For more context, she's 30 and I'm 22.
That is a succubus. Are you into big boom? Keep telling people you have anxiety issues. It's a lie. You are just wicked and mad.
Look, you've done BBL and we're all happy for you. Carry your new bum and go outside.
This is the podcast for you.
I'm not poor.
Are you sure? It's because they are vaping. Now everybody's marrying on time.
At your big age.
Wait now.
Do you know that I don't have clean pants to wear tomorrow?
I said what I said. The Unsolicited Opinions podcast starts now.
Please, this is a public place. Hello, boys and girls. Happy 8th birthday to us, your favorite girls. Today, what do? We had, yeah. Woo! We don't use this name. That was not a great idea. Anyway, happy 8th birthday to us. We're now big babes.
Big.
Okay, we are big babes. I don't know what class we'll be entering, but that's not really what
Primary
the focus. Yeah, that was...
Primary 4.
Oh, 4 was a great year. Yeah. 4 was a great time, honestly. I really enjoyed it. Anyways, we're 8 today and, we're having a yap. This is a yapping episode.
We spoke about pulling teeth.
Yeah, we spoke about pulling teeth. Jola is a killer, is what she revealed to us. So
we spoke about nepotism.
Yeah, we spoke about nepotism. We spoke about nepotism kind of networking things. We did a few dilemmas and then we spoke about being 8 as a podcast. So, happy birthday to us. Thank you so much for being here. Love you. Bye.
Bye.
Hello, boys and girls.
Hello, all.
We're back. As you can see, we have returned to...
How long when last did you record? It's been like 6 weeks or something.
It's been a long time. Let me know that.
What a time.
This hair color has changed.
Bola's hair color has changed. I've never seen Sweeney's hair like this before.
I said there's just
so many things.
There are all sorts of developments going. They're doing tie and dye.
Nadija is wearing suits. No crop top today.
There's
nothing.
So many things just at play that I don't know what's going on. But anyway, welcome back.
Or whatever.
Or serious whatever.
Serious whatever.
Do you know what it is? I saw a tweet or saw a story today that said that they've never come back from holiday feeling excited and refreshed to get back to work. Only feeling like
actually... Do you know the funny thing is that the original person that wrote that, which is Moyo.
Really? Yeah. Fair.
But I know exactly what that
I relate is. Like mad because I came back thinking, surely I've been away for so long that I should feel like, wow, I've enjoyed. Now time to lock it. I don't want to lock anything.
No.
I want to lock out.
100%.
Actually, this whole thing of now, you go on a holiday, it's time to lock in. No, do you know what I saw there? Do you know what I saw? I saw people in the height of enjoyment. Yeah. I can't lock anything in for now. All I keep thinking is, okay, how do I skip? And this is how people get into trouble because all of a sudden now I'm like, all this locking in, it sounds like something that takes a long time. How do I lock out and just come into it quickly?
No, it's not possible.
So this is the problem, yeah.
It's so funny because I messaged Wally yesterday. And Wally was actually at our New York show.
Yeah.
I messaged him and I was like, so it was for a different thing. And he sorted it. And then I was like, oh, sorry. Because when you become when you're over familiar with people, you forget manners. I was like, I'm so sorry. How are you? I was like, man, I'm on my way back to Lagos. I'm not fine at all.
Bruh, you actually can't be fine. It's just crazy. Meanwhile, New York people, I just want to say that, how is it that everybody in New York, with all the different things they have to do in New York, once you're in Nigeria and enter that New York, somebody must take you to that.
To Lagos. But it was nice.
It was nice, but I'm like, you don't get to, we live in Lagos. So
there's
nothing.
They always want to be like, oh, you guys, the best pepper soup.
I'm like,
it's actually in Surulere.
I'm like, if you think this is something, imagine the real Lagos. Anyway.
But it was nice.
But yeah, this is the thing with coming back. I come back and I'm just like, oh my God. Especially the first couple of days. Because obviously, you're in London, it's just, when you're ready to leave the house, you just exit.
Up and go, yeah.
You up and go. In fact, you I will now even though I know the way, I will put my destination in so that I know the exact time to like the 2 minutes that I'm going to arrive. And I decide my routes. If you do that in Lagos,
waste of
no
your
matter
time.
what that map says,
it
will surely be wrong.
Wrong crazy mechanic bill. Jesus Christ.
No, because how would the map know that 2 people are going to fight on the road?
My own thing today was that I forgot, which sounds so stupid to say, but I forgot how randomly the downfall drivers just stop. So they just, I mean, it's normal, that's what we normally do. But I forgot like how abruptly they stop on the road. They just literally, they don't slow down and stop.
It's very aggressive.
They just stop on the road. And I almost hit like...
And they don't have lights,
one
so
guy's car this morning.
There.
And the guy said, they see. I was like, are you knocked? I was like, are you drunk? Are you actually insane? Please, if you owe me any invoice, please pay.
Sincerely, this will be a good time.
I've paid so many bills. I got a tooth. I had an extraction on Friday. I'm so unserious.
Deeply, actually.
I had an extraction on Friday. And this is the thing with any dental appointment. When you're numb, when your face is numb, you don't feel anything. In fact, you feel like a badass. And I went to a different dentist. So everybody knows my dentist is Dr. Fada Jose. But I went to a different, because I'm getting some cosmetic dental work done. We'll get into that. But I got an extract. Our friend Toby, you heard of Toby RCCG. His wife is a dentist, but she doesn't live here anymore. So I asked her, I was like, look, I want to do some cosmetic work. Where should I go? And she sent me to somebody, Dr. Joe Ayanga.
You're getting veneers?
No, not veneers. Don't be stupid.
I was like, the way you said this cosmetic 2 times, money.
I know, right?
Please. I was like, let me tell you, this studio cannot contain.
No, it can't contain all of us if I do veneers.
I can't lie.
It's not possible.
We won't be able to do the podcast due to me laughing constantly. every time you open
my mouth. It can't be possible. Anyway, so I told her that I wanted to. She sent me like options, but I decided to go to Yanga Dental Clinic in Surulere, and the doctor I met was really cool. His name is Joe, and he's great. But while I was downstairs, you guys, veneers have become really popular in Nigeria.
No, that's literally why I just said it.
They are so popular. So basically, what I want to do is I'm getting a tooth taken out, but I want to replace it with an implant. And then I was like, actually, I want to fix my smile, so I want to get it's basic stuff. I want to do teeth whitening.
Yeah,
my teeth are fine, but I just wanted to do some stuff. And I asked the babes, like, what is there? Like, people are doing a lot more cosmetic surgery. Yeah. Like they thought it won't be. Guess what is also very popular? Fashion braces. Did you guys know this?
What?
Yeah, people are. There's something called fashion braces. It's not real.
Sorry, having had real braces, I can never be part of this.
No, so fashion braces are a thing.
It's
not 100K, it's not 200K, it's not 300K.
Sorry, I just want to double back. Again, anyone who has had braces will tell you that it's not a great time. There's food situation. And then when you're young, they try to whine you by making your band pink or whatever.
Yeah, so that's the thing. I was saying,
let me tell you, but that does not solve.
Pink bands, blue bands, like colored bands, the whole thing. Bro, I didn't know that.
I'm sorry, what?
But then also so let me tell you guys the story of what happened. It was on a couple of days before I came back. And I knew, because I had a root canal and I didn't have a crown on that tooth. So I genuinely should have been careful. But I was having the time of my life. There was one sourdough bread in Tolani's house. I was like, why not? I was just chewing. I just said one that didn't sound like the normal crur of bread.
You're killing me.
And I just thought, when I eat bread, I hear
this is not
it's not normally crur. Yo, my tooth had cracked all the way down to the roots.
Oh no.
So it was now like weirdly uncomfortable because part of it had broken, but part of it was now still hanging onto the gum. It was just so weird.
Did you immediately see the dentist?
There was the thing, it wasn't painful. It was
so you were just
an
there.
Awkward thing because it was a root canal, so like the healthy part of the tooth was still attached. It was so uncomfortable. I was supposed to do some stuff with Mikey. I was supposed to see some of my friends. I couldn't go anywhere. I just felt really uncomfortable. You guys, I got so uncomfortable. I started Googling how to remove your own tooth with forceps. I should not to. Do you guys know I removed my tooth by myself?
What?
Yes. I yanked it out by myself.
That's insane.
Yeah. So what I did was I sat down because I was so that's the thing. It wasn't like super painful, but it was actually uncomfortable.
Hanging, yeah.
So I first sat down. I was like, okay, yeah, big girl. you can't do this.
Oh my God.
Yeah, big girl, you can't do this. So the thing is, I didn't want Tolani. This is the first time she's going to be hearing this thing. I didn't want Tolani to hear because her house it's not a huge house. So she was upstairs. I shit you not, I went to the garden outside.
Oh my God.
Because I knew I was going to shout. I went to the garden outside.
Did you numb the area?
No. Numb with what? Am I an addict?
No, you can get all these. You can actually get see, I am prone to gum things. On Amazon, you can get
So I'll wait till tomorrow. No, I couldn't make it.
See?
I couldn't make it. So what I did was, I said, if you pull this thing out, you can buy yourself juice.
What?
So I went downstairs. So I've been playing. You know what?
How is juice a good idea?
If anybody has ever had a toothache, you use your tongue, you're constantly playing with it. So I had used my tongue to do some preliminary research. So I was like, it's leaning this way, but the problem is the other way. So the truth is that if I push it this way, it's not going to come out.
No, you have to yank it this way.
You guys, I shit you not. I went outside.
What do you use to pull is your hand?
I went outside. I sat down. I first used my tongue to try and push it the other way. It was too painful. And then again, remember, Tolani is upstairs, so I could not. I said,
this is diabolical.
And so after some time, I had to, and this is, if you guys don't know, when you have toothaches and stuff, if you're not careful, you get fevers, you get really feverish and stuff, because your body's trying to tell you that there's something wrong. Some of you are wondering, why need to go to the dentist in...
That's what was my next question.
Let me explain why. I don't like... The reason I have such bad frights when it comes to dentists is because of an NHS dentist.
Oh, okay, so you didn't want to go back.
I didn't want to go to the... But then I now said, let me just Google the private. The private was about 1,300.
You never Googled the private.
I said, no need. You guys, I sat down on the floor. I closed my eyes. I played... Shout out to Ashake. I shit you not. I put my headphones in. I played. You know that is a bad man party. I swear. And I pulled my tooth out. And I put my back.
Did you wait?
And I couldn't shout.
Let me ask you a question, because how do you pull it out? How do you get enough force when the first time you touch it pains you?
It's by thinking of you guys. I was doing by force fasting.
Why didn't you call Tolani to pull it out?
That's how.
As in, she'll use a
Tolani won't be able to do it. The Tolani I know can't do it for me. Anyway, I shall remove this thing. So I got back to Lagos. Also, you guys, anyway, the moral of the story is I'm a G. That's the first thing. The second thing is, actually, you guys, if anybody's thinking of getting dental surgery done, you should probably do it in Lagos. I'm actually not joking.
No, they're really good.
They are really good, and the price
is better than
because
what you
all the stuff I want to do. I was like, I need to get a root canal done. And me and my dentist, we spoke. Me and Dr. Joe spoke and everything. And they sent me my bill. The equivalent of the bill in the UK was about £7,000. It's 3.2 million naira. I said, well. And that's because I'm so insistent that I want, mind you, is the implants that are more than half of that bill. When I say more than half, it's 80% of that bill. Everything else.
If you're not doing that,
if I'm not doing the implants, it's just I
think I'm going to do, actually, I'm finally going to go and do the teeth whitening. And there's 2 other things that I want to do.
Yeah, that one you can go to Dr. Father. So that one is not a big deal. But this, because I actually want implants and a bit more dental surgery done, I was like, I'll go somewhere else. But that made me laugh so much. Now, you guys, as I was saying, because I got to this thing, my appointment was at 11 o'clock on Friday. I got back on Thursday. I got back to Lagos on Thursday. I went to the dentist on Friday, right? So he was like, we'll do the extraction today. No problem. The problem with the extractions is that the way your back teeth are set up at the back, a lot of force. It's not that if it was closer teeth, they don't actually have to do a lot of pulling. But at the back, they numb it. And it's actually your dentist is fighting.
Do you know when they do the numbing, and I'm like, sorry.
So there's
why am I seeing you doing
yes.
And I'm like, and then you hear something, and I'm like, what is going on?
But he had done adequate numbing. It was fine. I thought, this is not so bad.
They're crazy.
Like a fool. You guys, I now said, okay, let me go and do let me go and get a pedicure done. We were now going from Surulere to Ikoyi, and I was fine. Even my mom's driver was like, "Oh, are you?" Because the dentist is a big deal. So he was like, "Oh, are you okay?" And when people Nigerians feel sorry for you, the first thing they do is they reduce their voice. So he was like, "So okay, ma." So I'm like, oh, I'm fine. I need to run some errands. So we now ended up going to, you guys, I'm not joking, between leaving the car and entering the thing, I just realized like, oh, they started wearing off. But what they do is that they inject like the entire area. So the one that they first did
is what well first.
It was fine. By the time I had sat down and they had started asking me questions, the entire thing had worn off. Again, I don't listen. So I have a very addictive personality. And one of the things I'm actually afraid of is addiction. Everybody finds this thing so funny. So I don't take painkillers till I'm shaking in pain. I'm very, very worried about it. So they had told me like, you want to take the pills within 30 minutes. So by the time it wears off,
it's so interesting because when I took out 4 of my back teeth, I took painkillers before I left the dentist.
Because I'm a fool now.
No, before she was like, you don't need it yet. I said, Ma, I want to explain one thing about me. I need it.
So they were like, oh, okay, they'll do my pedicure, fine. But they were trying to figure out.
You were doing pedicure.
Wait now. They're like, we'll start with the pedicure. It's fine. So they were asking me like, what is this on my hand? And I did like dip, whatever. But my nails were very, very short. So it actually looks a little bit, if you look closely at my nails, they actually look weird. So the guy was a bit confused. By the time he held my hand, the entire thing had worn off. I was seeing, you guys, my grandma has been dead for about a decade. I was hearing this woman's voice. The guy was now like, Ma, I'm not supposed to say, fuck off! Because the pain had just hit me in a crazy way. So I had to quickly take my medication. So within like 30 minutes, I calmed down. Do you know, I called him. I said, I'm sorry. I said, please don't. I said, really? And that's why, when not actually, I said, I went to the dentist. He said, okay, man. And he had actually gossiped me at the back with that. I said, that girl. You were saying, I told them that this is why this Lagos people are doing drugs. But yeah, you guys, I wanted somebody to help me remove my head. Oh, it was awful.
You guys, you don't get.
And it was because they had to use so much. So my dentist, tall, Joe is probably about 6 foot, big guy.
You see that he had to
like he was. So, but you know when you're numb now, you're feeling like a bad guy. You can't see. Wow. Now a repentant person will do what? You feel sorry for yourself. You wrap yourself in a blanket. You sleep. They messaged me, say, Alpha group therapy. I said,
you guys, we were in a group. They were inside our Sunday group chat. They were posting videos of Jola dancing. And all of us were like, okay, now, we were the ones feeling bad for you that, hey, yeah, you did too skinny. How are you feeling? Someone said, see now, can you see that she's recovering? So the next day, Jola said, I said, waiting be is you. That your mates, when they suggested rest, they went to bed. Even
my dentist, because he's around our age. So the next day he was like, how are you? I was like, I'm fine. I'm in a bit of pain, but I went out last night. I said, I went to where? He was so confused. And because I'm getting like a couple of things and I'm going back on Friday, I'm just like,
Nah, it's crazy.
But that has been... It's so funny. You guys also, I'm now losing friends to Japa. You know our friendship, yeah.
Everybody's moving.
People are leaving.
It's getting really, really somehow. I can't lie.
On Sunday,
I'm not getting it at all.
Send forth.
Yeah, I don't get it.
And while we are the send forth, people now started confessing.
That them to them.
Like working.
But you know what's funny? Yeah. As much as that's happening, I know 2 people who are coming back next month.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it marriage?
No. It's not.
Is it Bele?
No. They are men.
Do you know how bad Nigeria is now? One of my friends' uncles that I quite like, because he's fundamentally a very unserious, funny man. I can't remember who I told. We were talking about, this type of thing, and he's not close to his children, but he has 2 kids, and he's trying to convince his son to come and take over his business. He was like, the cash flow is super healthy. It's a great business. And the boy is just not like into it or convinced. And they're not close enough for him to try and use emotional blackmail. Yeah. He was saying that, so he was telling his friends, like he's part of, he's an Ikoyi club member. So he said he was telling his friends that, he doesn't know what to do. That his most Iranu friend was not saying, whoa, the next time we go out, you just be showing him different babes. He was like, this guy is at least 64. And the guy was like, whoa, that's part, you will tell him that.
That not achieve.
Babes, there are many girls in Lagos that you have money, that you next time you go, that you show him the view from the penthouse. And this is the life you'll be living.
Not barely view from the penthouse.
And he was asking me what I think. I said, yeah, if your son doesn't think this kind of like healthy cash flow is enough to bring him back, he might have to sell. So we're talking about that, like
freeing
it and selling the business to like a competitor's kid or whatever, and if he's attached to the business or whatnot. And it was so interesting for me to see him because his struggle was, in his mind, he had always built this type of business for his
somebody
kids
to carry over.
And he was like, even if it's not like you want to be the CEO, like even if as a director,
just involved,
like care or whatever.
I think a lot of people want, funny enough, a lot of people want that, but then the problem is there's nothing you can do to predict whether like your children will.
This episode of I Said What I Said is brought to you by Madala, a healthy hibiscus cordial.
You can find out more at drinkmadala.com. Bye.
My dad tried.
At all. My mom tried as well.
It's so funny because people, maybe like 3 weeks ago, there was a whole thing about me being a Nepo baby on Twitter. And you know what? It's so terrible to say this, but you know what I kept thinking? If I had finished those accounting exams, that's when you people will see the real Nepo baby.
Yeah, because you would have moved in a manner.
My career wouldn't have been. My father knew what he was saying when he was begging me to do accounting exams. If you people would have just had in 10 years the youngest CBN governor. He was already my dad, because that's the world he knows. So he kept trying to get me to go into finance or accounting and finance, but I don't give a shit about. I don't understand it. I don't like it. I'm not good at it. Like that's a terrible combination.
Yeah.
But he tried and he just gave up because he was like,
a lot of people trying.
That's the world.
Also,
he knows.
To be honest, I get it for myself because I was like, imagine me being in charge of your children's primary school. That's crazy.
I have a friend that fought this thing, but I can see that that's where she's going to end up.
Yeah, but then I look at other people that are not doing it in industries that maybe if
I'm interested in,
and I'm like, you are crazy. How can you not take over this thing? And my friends are just like, I'm not interested. They're like, okay, you too, take over. And I'm like, no, that's different. They're like, it's not different. It's the same
thing. It's the
thing that you don't want to do. And I'm like, okay, but I want to do your own.
Yeah, but the friends whose parents had careers they ended up being interested in, I can see. So it's like Kewa and her mom.
Yeah. I can see.
It makes a lot of sense. And also,
there are a lot of people who went into it and then they were like, you know what? This is not about the business line. This is about keeping the thing that is feeding all of us alive. And then they give it like 5 years or whatever, which I think is fair. I think some involvement, like director or whatever, is like a fair enough thing. But it's just super interesting.
Yeah.
Also, let me not lie to you. I think the aim in life is for my children to be Nepo babies. I just don't see why they wouldn't be. That's kind of
I think people think about it differently. So it's just because now privilege is so vast that is different. So for instance, I was reading a novel about a guy who worked in he shared the mortuary thing was what he was doing. But that's an industry that's primarily held by families. So it's one of those things that people introduce their children to. It's very, very family oriented. And I was just thinking, I don't know. I think people, because of the way the world has become so unequal, privilege means that the gap is just too wide now. And so it makes it unfair. Like, what do you mean I could have done all the work and all the degrees and I actually enjoy and I have innovative ideas around finance, but because Kola's daughter decides that she also wants to be in finance.
Then she gets it because she
goes to dinner. Yeah, she goes to dinner with his friends that he went to college with.
And so there's access and there's and it's not really a balanced situation. But then it never is
because the same thing with baking or fashion. I remember having this huge argument with someone when Tenny started working with her mom. Jola said, and they were like, "Oh, she's not the best at it." I said, "So you mean her mom should
hire somebody else?
Who are you
from outside who claims to be the best at it?" Well, if you people don't get out,
you say, why your mama no make
why do you get? Why mama no hire you?
Why mama no hire you?
Why mama no hire you best at it?
So I think it's stuff like that makes people feel away. It's also because where we move Nigeria, but when nepotism thrives, it's often in the creative industry, and so. If there's one...
And there you don't even realize the way it's happening. But look, to be honest, what I think one of the things about business I've come to realize is, forget networking or whatever they say, relationships and access is everything that it is.
It's everything.
Especially if you now consolidate it inside one industry. If all of you know yourselves, is who knows the most people that is going to do the best. If they are also people of sense, that's just This is just
particularly here, because here, 90% of successful business is knowledge imbalance. So it's not about having a superior product or having innovation. It's that I know something you don't know. So for instance, like I have a friend whose entire business started up because his dad's neighbor in uni ended up working at customs. So a lot of the mistakes people made, he didn't make, because he just wanted to sit down with his uncle to be like, uncle, I don't have that much money. Can you explain things to me? So it wasn't even that the guy was doing anything corrupt. He was just telling him, these are things you need to do. That's information people pay for. So you get somebody. So I think he started exporting like food products. So he didn't have to make a lot of the mistakes people who are fresh in the business make, because he had someone that was telling him, do you have ABC? Expo, Do you know, like, don't transport your goods from 1, 2, 3 because it just takes longer. All that stuff that is when you get it, you find out that, they'll say that the line of trolleys is 3 days long. And you have tomatoes, bro, like your shit is rotting. So it's stuff like that. And that's what Nigeria is. It's all information imbalance. It's not really about people
distribution that you have access to because you know this person, you went to school with this person
is your friends.
Look, we're even talking on a big scale. See, even us, most of the people we work with, we know them from primary school. Yeah. Honestly, literally from primary school. So it's just like, someone was like, oh, you guys, for London, how do we get Kai to do the collaboration? I said, I can show you pictures of me being 6 with Fisayo.
I have pictures of my mom and Fisayo's mom from university.
Pictures we did when we were 10. Like, this thing is not... Yeah. When we were 10, we didn't know, there was nothing, we didn't know that Kai Collective was
a thing,
was going to be a thing. So I was like, it's actually not.
It's really, just unfortunate. It's just the way
certain things kind of play out, where, this person was your neighbor. This person, goes to say, there's so many random things that end up being something because this is what, and just like you were saying, fashion, I find it so interesting when I would discover that the person who was hired to be the creative director of this house, their godfather is one person in Dior. All of it, I'm just like a badger, you see, because what they're doing, rubbish. But you see it now. So I just think it is unfair. So the thing about it is unfair, but it's also not in anyone's control.
Or how the cookie crumbles, I guess.
And it can also be the case because realistically, when your network starts, you don't know where anybody's going to end up.
Yeah.
So it's luck of the draw, which is terrible, but it's how it is.
I mean, even the older we get, there are so many interesting things. Just that Nigeria is fundamentally so deeply unfair. So sometime my dad went to, and he was just stubborn for no reason. So when my dad was applying to universities, he just decided he wanted to go to University of Nsukka. He didn't want to go to Unilag. He didn't want to go to Ife.
Yeah.
Like he said, he wanted to go to Nsukka. And there's something called, which I only found out about a couple of years ago. They jokingly call them like the Nsukka Mafia. So they are like
people that came out of Nsukka?
They no, but particularly they are like accounting, finance, department. It was like a whole thing. So like that's how, I think they were particularly invested in. So keep in mind that Nsukka was in Enugu and this is post-Biafra. And so a lot of people who sent their children to school had a very different value for money. Like the Southwest is very different from the Southeast.
Yeah.
And so my dad was like, that was where he realized that people were talking about the war in very recent terms.
Yeah.
Because their families had a very real connection to the war. And these are people who only got, no matter how much money you had prior to the war, you got £20 to start your life over. So that set, their interest in finance and the market was very, very different. But my dad met Obi Ezekwesili in university.
Wow.
And, he's a dickhead, but what's the name of our former CBN governor? Emefiele.
Sure. It's so funny. Do you know the problem with...
Yes.
I was about to answer that and then I realized all the names I know him by are not his name. No. Because I was about to say family. And I was like, but that's actually... And then I was about to say Murphy. Both of which are actually...
not his name.
Frankly. But this is the problem.
Yeah, and Soludo and all those people.
With like social media. I don't know the man's name.
Yeah, and then even... So they were like former CBN deputy... Like a lot of... So their department, their finance and accounting... Keep in mind, a lot of their parents were also traders. So they understood business in a different way. And they were invested in understanding the markets in a different way. And... nothing really popped up for any of those people, whether they were in Ife or
till later,
till Obasanjo liberalized the economy, and then a ton of them had all these really interesting ideas that they were able to pick up on. So I think, I don't know, it's like, I don't know any of my friends' children having an interest in like literature or writing or
and
podcasting.
then using you to be like the back. It's really interesting, just the things that access or knowing somebody who is inside something gets you, because it's totally different, especially in Nigeria, because things are not straightforward
at all.
Things are not straightforward, especially anything to do with regulation. Anything. God bless you if your daddy walks inside a fire.
Do you know that?
Because there are just so many things that make a huge difference
from a
small perspective.
But I think sometimes I wish we were able to think of things slightly differently. So for instance, I'll tell you after, there's somebody who I really admire the way she has built her business.
Mm-hmm.
It was only recently I realized her mom is also a trader.
Right.
And so it means that there's a way she understands
business,
market penetration
that people don't.
So she's a lot more bougie. But it's the same way the first time I went to buy, I think it was for my dad's 60th. My mom and I were trying to buy fabric for her, my auntie. And so, no, my grandpa's funeral. And so we went to a couple of stores in phase 1. And one of them who I really, really like, still love, she now says, okay, do you know what? Let me call my mom. And that's when I realized her mom has a huge fabric store in Lagos Island. And so I said, oh my gosh. I was like, oh, is that your mom? She said, yeah. She said, you think you just jump
you just come.
She said,
from
no,
this.
but I've been working in the store since I was a teenager. So I understand fabric in a different way.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, that's so interesting. But I would never think of her thing. People won't think of her type of thing as nepotism, right? They just think because it's not. But yeah, so it's just a different understanding.
But it is. It's like we were talking about this. My grandma has been doing, Austrian lace. My grandma is Sego Gele. Say whatever you people want to say. Not the one you people are buying in the market. the actual Sego, she is Mrs. Sego of the Sego Gele. So if I start to sell Gele, for example, it might look as if I've gone into new business. However, you must understand that is what they call nepotism. Because it means they gave it to me.
But they didn't just give you. It's also like you grew up around it.
I've also been on so many, like when I was young, what will you people do for summer was follow your grandma to Austria. Go and see what they are doing there.
In the factory,
so I have pictures of me being small, going up and down to where they are making lace, making gele, sitting in the shop and like serving people puff that as you are spending money on fabric, would you love a refreshment? And I was in charge of puff. Okay. So these are the things that
I'm also trying to convince Kemi to get into her grandma's business. And it's funny
because a lot of the women that were buying those things, the reason when I see them outside, I can greet them today is because I jammed them inside that shop when their daughter was getting married and they were trying to buy gele or lace. So I remember I went somewhere and I greeted someone. Someone was like, how on earth do you know her? I said, oh, she comes to my grandma's house to buy fabric. So this thing is it's crazy, but honestly, it's the way it is. It's the way it is. And it's for good and it's for bad. So it's just, I don't know. Do your best children to have network. Hello, boys and girls. I am back again to tell you about Missan. Nigerians in Nigeria can now sign up on the Missan app and get virtual USD cards. You can use these USD cards for all your international payments. Spotify, Amazon, if you want to buy me something on ASOS, anything you like. Remember, Missan used to be called Coins by Bamboo, but now we are Missan. Before, you could only use the app if you were in Canada, but now it works for transactions to an additional 15 countries. You can fund your card in Naira or in dollars, anyone you have. There are low transfer fees, amazing exchange rates, and no hidden charges. So run, do not walk to the Missan app. Bye.
Yeah, or at the very least, like figure out
also
the way you know.
Another thing I wanted to say is that this thing is so that we're talking about family. This thing is horizontal as well, in the sense that I look at. Let me just use even primary school or secondary school, the people that I went to school with, and where people have reached, and I'm like, oh, more. Why don't we attend the alumni meeting? Because all my problems can be solved on that day.
Yeah.
Every single one. So a lot of times it's not actually just, your mom, your dad or whatever. If you look at me, if I look at my primary school class, first of all, like 4 people from primary school have been on this podcast anyway. Faye Bello into this. Donna one of Thames we were in the play group together. There's literally so many people that it's a bit ridiculous what is going on actually. So the thing about it is just sometimes it's even your peers. You went to uni with people. Gauge what's happening with them now. That classroom you people were in, or maybe you guys were suffering, you were making one noodle somewhere. Those are the people that you are reaching out to. It's not the same as nepotism because it's not family or whatever. But honestly, I remember I was talking to someone and he was saying that it's funny. He's a funder. So he funds, he gives people loans, does investment. And he was like, people always accuse him of having preferential treatment to people who went to the same uni as him. But he's like, okay, but what else? Guy, I knew you when I was borrowing notes from you, when we were throwing parties together at uni. Now you have a business, right? And out of the 50 or maybe applications I get, I see you and I'm like, but I know this person. I kind of know your context. I know how you might have ended up. Why on earth will it not end up that is you that gets the preference over this other person that I don't know from anywhere? He was like, people are always saying it. And he was just like, okay, but in real life, what else?
What else?
I know this person now. She was in my class.
What else?
So it's weird, but it's just the way it is. It's just the way it is.
Unfortunately.
It's just the way it is.
Yeah, people say that about like my first ever summer job. I went for an interview. He had an office off Bond Street in London, HR.
You did HR?
Yeah. But that was the first time I realized that HR wasn't just about HR wasn't just about
sorry,
like
no, you actually I'm sorry. No, we can't. Sorry.
Let me explain the type of HR.
No, you can't explain anything. No, please.
Let me explain.
I need this moment for myself.
Let me explain.
I need to have a private moment because you guys, what I'm just picturing.
So I just
you being at work and then Jola coming with a clipboard.
So you see, it wasn't like that. You won't allow me answer. It wasn't like that. So basically, that was the first time I realized so he was a recruiter.
Right.
So me, I thought that's what I was going to be. I was very excited. I thought that's what was going to be like.
You people are not coming on time.
Yes. Only to get there and realize that. So this guy was recruiting. Like, so let's say Sainsbury's is looking for. So that was the client at the time. I'm using the example. So Sainsbury's is looking for a regional manager for the Northeast.
So he's like a headhunter.
He was a headhunter type of thing, looking for best fits. But he was working with, and I didn't know that was a real thing, right? So what ends up happening is, imagine trying to convince someone like, let me think of, let's say podcasting was like a huge industry, and now Apple wants to do a podcast, wants to open their network here, and they're like, oh, who should we hire? He's probably the kind of person that'll come and beg Debbie that, this place you're working doesn't make sense.
Just forget them.
You just forget about them. But you know why I got the job? He went to Durham.
Oh, I'm sure you applied and I
applied amongst 100 people, and I thought that our interview was going to be such a serious thing. So I get to the thing and he's like, oh, he sees I went to Durham. It's like, oh, this is the college in Durham you went to. He's like, oh, was at Castle. I'm like, oh yeah, one of my best friends, Moya, was at Castle. And we start talking. He's like, oh, did you do any extracurriculars? He was like, he was into rowing. I was like, bro, no, I wasn't interested. And we start talking. We finished, nothing concerning work. He was like, this seems like it's going to be fun, doesn't it? Very wise man. I'm like, it does? Sure. I'm like, sure. And he's like, okay, see you next week Wednesday. I promise you guys, that's how I got it. And then I started telling him, oh, I've never done job before. He's like, you learn, you went to Durham.
Yeah.
And that was literally the end of.
This is so funny because I won't say which uni. I got when I was, obviously you put your preferences like first, second, third for uni, and then you have your UCAS or whatever. Anyway, I went to my at the time, second uni choice. And obviously it was cold. Because when you're doing all these interviews, whatever, I feel like it's like...
They can't beat you now. What was the second uni choice?
No. It was cold. And then I went there and then I wore the scarf. I went to Seven Oaks for A-levels. Okay. And then I wore the scarf. Not really because of anything. Because of the weather forecast. So I wore the scarf based on, this is a free scarf that they've given me in this school. And I went to the interview. And so as I was doing the interview, the woman just kept looking at me. And she was like, sorry, I didn't want to mention this, but you know, she now brought her house. She was like, I went to Seven Oaks. And I was like, oh my God. When I tell you that this thing derailed
the entire interview.
From then, she was like, oh, is Mr. Kinney still there? Is Mr. Kinney still there? Oh my God, this one. I said, sister. Because also she wasn't even that much older than me, the babe that I was even doing. So she was young because Seven Oaks is not that old. So she was kind of young. And it was funny because I think she was maybe 4 years. It wasn't a long. It wasn't that deep. But for some reason, she was sitting in the chair. Oh, look at that.
Why did you give me the pink one?
No, please leave it for me. I like this sticker that's on it. But yeah, she was the one that was going to take me around. And she was like, for whatever, but she was meant to only take me around the uni. But for whatever reason, the person meant to do the interview can't do it. And so she's going to end up doing it. But she was like, we just ended up gisting. Do you know that I promise you, when I saw the offer that they gave me, I said, is this scarf? Then I started wearing the scarf all over the place. I put it to you that I didn't gain any other thing from the scarf actually. But you know, lovely scarf, red. So,
but that's probably where you now realize why people are very.
That, okay, maybe I now started attending all this alumni.
Yes,
alumni.
No, seriously.
On LinkedIn, they added me to the school alumni. I said like mad. I started checking everywhere. I DM'd one guy. I said, "Lovely to connect with you." We went to Seven Oaks. Two of us, me and also you.
Yeah, no, it's a whole thing.
No. Because he had raised one AI 100 million. I said, we, two of us. Actually, the funny thing is, you don't know me. You didn't see me there, but
I was there.
If you check our LinkedIn, we have the same school we were there. Okay? So it's just really interesting. And it's funny because actually right now, I'm very into like extending into alumni things. I don't know why. It's because they added me to one random group on LinkedIn and I was like, come on, it's true. My parents spent a lot of money sending me to school. Let me find out what these people are. And there are lots of people
doing really amazing things.
There are a lot of people doing things. And I'm like, wow, I used to not snub, but I'd never go to all these things. They always send all these emails. 4 years, 3 years on your class of 8, class of 10, class of one thing is meeting up for at the pub. I'm like, I don't want to go to the pub.
Must go.
But now I'm like, maybe I should be going to the pub.
You must go.
Class of wherever I went to, because so many things are going on. Anyway, guys, so we are turning 8. Happy birthday to us.
Happy birthday to us.
Happy birthday to us. I said. We are indeed. 8 is crazy.
Is it really? It's after 7.
Let me know, like, 8 is crazy because like we're walking, we're talking, you know, this is a big child. An 8-year-old is not a small child.
No.
The problem is you're not 10, so like you're not relevant.
Yeah.
You're not a big girl, but like you're there. You're keeping things moving. I also find it crazy that we've been doing this for 8 years. I don't remember
it feeling like 8 years.
No,
I feel like it only started to feel a bit more substantial post She.
Yeah.
Where we actually had like a studio to be reporting
like
to every week.
I just don't feel like, when was that? Sometimes when we say it, I'm always like, are we lying?
It's crazy.
It's crazy, you guys. 8? That's really insane that we've
Someone
been doing
sent me a DM saying
he
only recently started following me. And so when I tweeted that it's going to be 8, that he said he can't lie. He has been insulting us to people that, all these rich kids wanting to tame, that now he feels so, because he was like, he genuinely thought that the podcast was maybe 2 years old. Max.
That we just started. Then we did tour. You guys, we've been here for a long time. Our eyes have seen many things, which is why, you know, a funny thing happens. Obviously, because we do the podcast, many conversations I have are with people who want to start a podcast. I always tell, and my answer is always the same. Start it.
Yeah.
And I always say start it. But please realize that you message me based on the tour you saw that we did in year 8. So I look forward to talking to you in 2030. 2030 something. And I was like, start to. Because one babe messaged me recently and she was like, do I not think that there are too many?
No, that's not true.
And I was like, no, because I started listening to a new podcast 2 days ago.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't even know who this lady is. It's so bloody random. It came up. Like, it just came up and I was like, the episode came up and I was like, this seems interesting. And then I subscribed. Only God knows who. I don't even know how many followers she has, who she is. I didn't check Instagram or anything. I was listening to it, just the audio. And I was like, oh, this is super interesting. It's a business one thing. And I was like, great. So I'm like, the fact is that people are discussing so many things.
Yeah, you guys,
look, even the podcast I follow, it's not all the podcasts that I listen to every episode of them. I gauge.
I decide,
when I see, okay, this is what this is about, then I'm into it. So stats, me, I don't have any issue with you. Go for it. You start, because the industry gets bigger, we get bigger. So don't worry yourself.
Go ahead,
I'm not concerned about my position.
Also, as people are entering, people are exiting.
God bless you. So
please feel free.
And I was like, but I just really want to remind you that the reason you've messaged me is because of year 8. And so I just want you to have it in mind that if you're messaging me because what you want to reproduce is year 8, maybe if you're a genius, right? Or you're using AI, I don't know. Maybe you'll do what we've done in 8 years in 1 or 2. But I was like, there's still
a lot of room.
She was like, man, it seems long, Sha. I said, it is. And I told her, I was like, girl, it is long. This thing that you want to just do it and then
you'll pop off immediately.
Sis,
then you become very popular.
I do, unless you're already very popular and then you start. But even if you are very popular and then you start, you being very popular doesn't mean people want to listen to your podcast.
I feel like you being very popular is even a bit more demoralizing, because what happens is that first episode
then
you're
shocked.
Well.
You're too and then episode 4 or 5 is where everything scatters. It's not one, we're still here. We're still here. You're very popular. I followed you on every platform. We're here. You say you're doing podcast. Lovely. Episode 2 comes and I'm like, why I follow you is not this.
There's like a 40-something% drop. And then after that, there's still another drop
episode
again.
3, episode 4, I'm like, girl, love you, but
yeah.
Let me know, like, this is tough. I prefer Instagram.
My dad has started listening to the podcast. It's so distressing. I'm telling you. My mom, and let me tell you how distressing it is. My mom just gave me a heads up. So she sent me, I was still in London. My mom messaged me. She was like, oh, hi dear. Entered the room this evening only to hear your voice. I was like, okay. She was like, she just saw that me and Fikemi were on full blast. And I said, did you tell Dad he's not allowed? Like, he's not allowed to listen to this stuff. She said, oh, she just put her headphones on and entered the gym. She didn't even engage the man. But my dad knows better than he. So he's not talking to me about it. But I think what thing is that lots of people, even more than normal, because of the talk, lots of people have been messaging him like, oh, so he wants to feel like he can say, happening. Oh yeah, in the last episode.
Let me tell you the worst development that I think has happened so far. As it relates to this podcast and family members, for all this time we've done the podcast, my grandma has never been able to listen. Please, because that woman watches DSTV. Of course, we are not on DSTV.
What do you mean, Mama watches?
No. I want to explain to you what has happened. A human being connected her TV to Chromecast. The human being is a family member of mine. I don't want to. You know who you are. The reason you did this, none of us know, because now she has access to what they call YouTube. Guess what she's searching? I said, excuse me, Ma, this cannot work. I said, Ma, realistically. So, because yesterday she called me and said, you need to send me your jewelry to clean for you. And I thought, when I go to your house, I check everything I'm wearing. She said, yes, I watch your program. That chain, you need to clean it. And I just thought, oh, this is really bad. And I didn't want to now go into a person. So which one did you watch? Which one?
Mama, which one did you watch?
Yes, they put it for me. They put it for me. I saw.
And you guys, FK's grandma is so serious. After our tour, She sent us what she said, multivitamin.
Yeah, energy boost. I didn't even need to send yours to you. She bought us energy boost and recovery multivitamin. 2 packs for me, 2 packs for Jola. Because literally we finished, I got back to London. I don't remember the day. It was like 4 days later and she called me and she could hear that I was out. She was like, "You're not resting? Did you take what I sent? That should I buy you? There's one that they have that is for sleeping. What of your friend? Does she have it?" And she was like, "Have you given her?" I said, "The fact is I've not given her." She said, "Why?" And she bought it 2 packs that it will last us 3 months. So do please collect from me energy boost and recovery.
Yeah, one of my dad's really good friends, Pastor Femi, came to the house on Saturday, and he was Saturday. He said, and I've known him since literally him and my dad have been friends since they were Pastor Femi Paul since they were young, so in their 20s, and so I've known him since I was a baby. And Pastor Femi he's so cute. He said, I see your programs and I can't believe it. I can't believe it. My dad is thinking, is it this rat that, yeah?
No, it's so funny because
he said, I can't believe it. You're just up there. So you're just up there, you're thinking, you're saying, he said, he just saying stuff. And I remember when I would come, because my dad was one of the first in his friendship group to have a kid. So that was their little doll. Like, you just remember how I would be so excited that he doesn't have anybody to tell. I know how. I know how from before. And it was so cute. Like, he was so excited. Not telling me how he wanted to come for the show in Canada. I said, you wanted to do you wanted to do what?
Let me tell you, my aunt and my uncle and their kids came to the show in New York. You guys, the problem is they sat down.
And they were at the front. They were on the second row.
In direct eye view of me. Now, I need to explain that. Prior to now, these people have a perception that I'm a functioning member of society. I'm a serious lady.
You're in a factory.
When we did S's, they were so proud. I run a factory. On Christmas Day when they come to our house, this is not what we're doing. We are, high, good standing members of. So I swear they said they are coming for this show. Obviously, my cousins, I was like, that's fine.
Yeah.
But then they were like, "Oh, no, everyone is coming, like the pair." And I thought, is this a good idea?
This is random, but I actually thought that was really cute. So our New York show was the smallest, which my mom can't get over the fact that when I say small show, it's like 500 people. She can't get over it. My mom is just like, "What do you mean it was a small 500 people? That's bigger than your daddy's church. What do you mean it was small? What do you mean it was like a small? It was a small show." But I think it's really cool when, particularly, it's very, our podcast is like contemporary. Yeah. So the fact that their parents enjoy it. I couldn't believe her uncle and auntie were just, and they were talking like they were familiar. I was like, oh my God.
Having the time of their life. But it was just I was just like, oh my God, this is crazy because this is not the context. This is my uncle and auntie and my cousins. In family gatherings, we're all well behaved. We don't do anyhow. So when I came out, my auntie was just like, good to meet you. I said, girl, this is not a grand. And it's funny because my cousins are younger, but like they're bad bitches.
Yeah.
So it was also hilarious because obviously, the cousin or whatever, they're like, fair, rated. I thought, oh, you rated, that's so lovely.
Yeah.
But it was just very interesting because then my uncle was telling my mommy that on my festival, he didn't know he was going to a women's convention. If he had known, he'd have been better prepared. As he got there, he was like, okay, so nobody else is uncle is there.
I think your uncle was the oldest person there.
Yeah, he was like, bro, this is crazy. The fact that I'm here, there's no man my age.
Let me tell you something that happened in New York, and you guys are never going to catch us out like that. So normally what happens is we came and I take pictures with some people, we go back.
We do like 10, 15 minutes.
That's what the New York people did.
Do you know what? They lined up. They held us to our neck. You guys, they lined up. They formed what they call an orderly
queue. So you feel bad. So you can't go.
The problem is that, and they did it on their own. Nobody
sent them.
So when they decided to form an orderly queue, I thought, Jesus Christ,
we can't just exit.
Because imagine somebody who's at the end looking at us, be like, oh, and now we are leaving.
You guys took pictures with every single person. They couldn't, even our friends are laughing at us.
Even
we
people
felt
that
so
came
bad.
in a group of 2, you first take the group picture.
Then you take one.
You take one separately. I said, God.
I said that, wow, I would never be caught like this again in my life.
What you guys have done. I can't believe.
They were so warm and so polite.
Honestly, the thing about taking pictures of everybody was then you then got to like gist with everybody.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
And first of all, 70% of people that came to New York don't live in New York. So it was hilarious because like 10 babes were like, by the way, I've missed work. So anything that happens, I want you guys to know that if I message
really
you
sweet.
and you need to send me money, you do. One babe was like, frankly, she's not on good terms with her manager. And she's actually on a sick day. Obviously, her Instagram is open. So, if
people came from like Chicago and Boston.
It was really
something. One babe wrote to us and was like, she just wants to let us know that her bus back to Boston is at 2 a.m. So she's going to wear suit and get there at 6.
No,
and go to work.
It was really something. Like that was the thing that, it's funny because everyone is like, how's the tour? And I keep telling my friends that it sounds very somehow. I'm not somehow, but it's odd to say. This is the first time that I realized, okay, we're doing something. Again, not to say that we've not been doing anything before, but when you have people like taking a bus at 2, flying, and I just keep thinking, are you sure? Why will you do that?
Why will you do that? I
kept asking people,
why?
One was like,
I said, why?
Oh, she flew in from Ohio. She literally has to rush to the airport. And I was like,
why?
I didn't even hesitate when I said, okay, why did you do that? And she was like, to make the show. And I was like, oh, for you, that's good decision making.
Yeah. It's odd.
Yes. And I was like, but to be fair, I was going to fly to Vegas to see Beyonce, but that's Beyonce.
That's Beyonce. What are we doing?
So to me, I'm like, you put your money behind Beyonce. And so it's crazy, but this was the first time that I was like, oh my God, we have actually done something. We've done something. So it was
so much fun.
It was very interesting to observe.
It was so much fun. That's the only way to explain it. It was so
a lot
much
of fun.
It was so much fun. And then as the shows, I don't know, fake me.
That was not intentional.
Fake me.
The fact is that, why did I do that?
Why did you do that? You guys, she has broken our birthday tiara.
Why did I do that? Okay.
Why did you do that?
Okay, sing happy birthday.
What's your problem?
Sing happy birthday for a distraction.
Are you knocked?
Oh my God, I'm trying to why you're singing?
No.
Can you sing?
No, I refuse.
You were a star before?
No.
On SoundCloud. You could have had a SoundCloud career.
Do you know I could have had a career?
Yeah, the one that left it.
I left it.
You were doing all these covers that year when people were doing cover things.
My covers are very popular.
Why did I do this?
I don't know for you.
Bring the second here. Why did I do this? This is so crazy of me. Thank you. Anyway, happy birthday to us. We're 8. Nancy bought these things which are for dolls. But I'm going to wear it anyway.
Okay, should we do some dilemmas before we go?
Sure. Let's see what the people have for us. And another thing I want to say is you guys are really confiding. Like, I'm finding that as we go on in the podcast, the level of confiding is increasing exponentially. And I don't know what to say about it.
Yeah, so people...
Sometimes I want to tell you, you need to form a group chat.
Honestly.
Not so that you can be just so you can post this thing that you sent to us. You need to select 3 of your friends that you know. Then you need to put them in a group, emergency group chat. Then you need to post this thing in it because there's just so much going on.
Okay, this person is called Losing My Mind. Says, I don't like my best friend's man and I can't hide it. We've been besties for 6 years and she means the world to me. Now she's in a relationship she prayed about. I even joined her to pray. But honestly, I just don't like him. No real reason. He's very sweet and decent. And I've prayed about my feelings. So I know that there's nothing wrong about him. I just don't like him. The problem is I can't hide my feelings. So he knows. And of course, I told my best friend. What's the of course there? It's stressing both of them. And I really dislike this version of me. I even ran away when we were supposed to meet. Imagine you not liking FK's man, Jola. That's how crazy it is. Now I feel myself pulling back from my bestie and it breaks my heart. He hasn't done anything wrong. Again, I just don't like him. Help me because I don't want to lose my friendship over this and it breaks my heart. We always say nothing can break us, but I really see this breaking us because forever is a long time and it's not going to work if I don't like her man, my God baby's father. P.S. I'm usually the sweetest girl who likes everyone, so this is exhausting. I just turned 24 and I'm single too. I think it's one of two things.
Okay.
You miss your friend or you like her, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it.
No, it's not even that.
Fake
so
me.
let me tell you the first thing.
This kind of strong reaction.
You see that, of course, that you say you told her. That why would you do that?
Why would you do that?
My question is, why would you tell somebody whose man there's nothing actually wrong with him?
Yes, for no reason.
You've just decided that you don't like him for whatever your personal reasons are, which are for your pocket. Why will I not tell Jola, oh, by the way, there's nothing wrong with this guy. Like I can't identify. I will agree that he's very sweet, but me, I don't like him. What is the authority of that opinion? Why the hell will you say that? Secondly, the truth is you need to tuck it in.
Yes.
Like I want to be so frank with you. You need to tuck it in because you don't have relevant reasons for your behavior. And you know, the funny thing is you think you're not moving weird. You are moving weird. That baby is aware that you don't like her. First of all, you even told her, which I think is crazy. Why are you guys not understanding basic social interactions? Unless something is wrong with a man, why will you tell your best friend who received a man that two of you prayed for? Remember that you were also there in the prayer meeting. Then you tell her, actually, I don't like him. What is your issue?
Can I also say something? You know, we've spoken about this thing before where we figured that, and this is in-house stuff, so don't worry, we're not going to clip it. But I've seen something that happens a lot with younger women, where I think that there's this idea that your life should be dramatic. And so you play into it. Like you think that's what life is supposed to be. So you play up drama. Your life is not a rom-com.
It's actually not.
And your life is not a dramatic comedy.
I understand that there's the occasional reel, but no one is watching.
This is the plot of a film, right? So I just don't like my friends. Like,
and then what should I do? You should do nothing.
You should do nothing. It's bad and unreasonable behavior for you to make your friend uncomfortable to the point that she's choosing between you and her man. And you know, even you as you're writing it, you're feeling cool now. Like, oh, I don't like my friends. I don't like my friend's man.
What you should investigate is why.
Why do you feel this way?
And also, I want to be clear. Again, with your hands, you said that there's nothing wrong with this man. He's sweet and decent. You two, you prayed for him. So I'm sorry, when those feelings come up, the normal reaction is that you tuck them in. That's actually what you're supposed to do. And the reason is because this is your friend. She has chosen who she wants. Two of you are not the same. This is not your man.
It's not our man. It's not a group project.
You don't actually have that much authority over who she makes her man or not. You hope that is a good person, which according to you there's nothing for you to do. I don't want to lie to you. There's nothing for you to do. And I think we need to learn, like, there's a way that you make, because you know, if your best friend tells you they don't like, you start to question that, did I make a wrong decision? And I hate the idea that there's nothing wrong with this guy, but your friend, every time, low-key, is a group thing for you guys to hang out. She will now have to be figuring out, oh, are you going to act up? If you now do something that maybe you're just having a bad day in general, all that'll be on her mind is, oh, is this because she doesn't like him? Or if you guys she wants to come to your house with him, you now be second guessing all these things that are just a lot of stress for who you claim is your best friend. Don't you want to make it easy for her in life? Also, why don't you? I don't know, but
yeah,
I just
it also plays into some of these like very nonsense and weird stereotypes about women being jealous of their friends and sabotaging their relationships.
I don't like it because it doesn't. No one gains from this. The revelation of this, your truth. The truth is that nobody gains from it, and like it's not justified by anything. So yeah, I don't like it. I think you must tuck it in. 100%. And for the sake of your friendship, you need to get on board with the man. Let me not lie to you. That man is here for now. So far as here, you need to get in line. Otherwise, your friendship is not going to survive it.
Okay. Up next, we have Bloody Samaritan.
Right.
Says, hello, my president. Thank you for showing up, and I love being a part of this community. I'm the first daughter of 3. We lost my dad young, and my mom became an iron lady, working, shouting, and running the home as her own. Fast forward a decade, some old friend of my dad shows up, marries her, and now we live in chaos. He lives rent-free and does almost nothing, expecting me to kneel, serve, smile, and show him love and respect like he deserves it. My mom complains about him constantly, but when I don't play along with his expectations, I'm the rude daughter. I love my mom and I want to be there for her. But how do I stay kind without being her emotional doormat? right now I feel stuck trying to do both.
It's this thing we always say about living under somebody's roof. At the end of the day, in this close proximity, right, there is little you can do. You can still put your foot down. There are boundaries, right? But the problem is that with somebody who is overbearing as it sounds, it's going to take a while for her to even understand that what you're doing is setting a boundary. Initially, it's just going to be like, what rubbish is this? I told you to do something. But see, this is your life, babes. So you're going to have to put your foot down where you can.
There's also something else, Sha. I think, our culture we skip over so many. We don't have a lot of like sociological data, so we skip over so many things. That's not your dad, that's your mom's husband.
Yeah.
And I think the expectation in Nigerian society is to treat, our understanding of family is very nuclear and very basic, like social studies, chapter 1, mommy, daddy, children. And there is no nuance into how we actually live. So if your mom, while you're in your 20s, gets remarried or in your late teens, you have to develop a friendship or relationship with that person. That's not your dad, particularly if he's not doing what you want. So, God forbid, something had happened to my dad and my mom was remarried. The only way I can engage with him as a meaningful person as an adult is if he's taking care of my mother.
Yeah. Number one. And also, if you are also making an effort outside of my mom to have a relationship with me.
No.
If not, I don't have any business with you.
If, for instance, like, because you're an adult now, so it might be a little bit weird because he doesn't know you. Think of it this way. If you meet somebody today that is dating an older family member, if you guys were wed, he could have dated you. So he knows you in a very different circumstance. But if he treats your auntie well or your mom well, then you engage with him as somebody who is kind to your mother and is in a father figure position. But all you hear about this, you see this loafer in the house that doesn't necessarily do much for your mom.
Is expecting more of you than is
expecting like a fatherhood position. So I think that part of the problem is that our society doesn't allow us to discuss these things clearly. Like, that's not my dad. That's somebody that my mom married and I am meant to have respect for. But what am I respecting? That's the thing that's very difficult when you're a young Nigerian to explain that respect is not automatic when you're not fulfilling certain obligations. You're not. So let's say you don't have. It's not about money. You don't have money is fine, but you're not kind. You're not warm. You're not wise. You can't be broke, foolish, and wicked. That is a terrible trifecta. Yeah. At the very least, you choose one of the three. He's broke, but he's such a kind man, so warm, so loving. And he's somebody that we respect. Like, he's wise. Very foolish guy, but he has plenty money and he's very kind. Very kind man. Yeah. No money, very little sense. You can't be all three. You can't. You have to pick a struggle. Now, first of all, at least my biological father, I don't have choice. You don't have a choice, bro. Come on. The question is, what does she do though? Because this is right, but how does she make it clear that actually this is right? The problem is that she can't, it's because she can't express herself. She feels she has to do anything. You don't have to do anything. You don't. There's a politeness that is, I think. There's a civil, like, you ought to be civil with him. Honestly, anything more than that is asking for a lot. It's asking for a lot. It's just civil. So for instance, you can say to your mom that, like, mommy, let me tell you something. Me, I did for you. Yeah. That's what I'm actually in this house for. And if it's there for you, lovely times. Yes, but I did for you. So, there's, the way Nigerian adult, you serve papa's food. Papa. Sometimes you do papa's laundry. That's what they do now. Papa is really crazy for the situation that we're in. Because let me tell you one thing that's not happening. I'm not calling him Papa. I didn't call my own father Papa, then you. You know what I mean now? But all those kind of weird things, like you do all those things. If her mom is trying to make her call him Papa. But there's nothing more than that. Like, what else is supposed to be there? Like, oh, my mom's husband. And I have friends whose parents are married older, and they are the men either try or not. But it's not a big conversation. It's just what it is. It's just there's some that like really go overboard to be like, look, yes, I married your mom, but I actually want to try with you. What are you up to? There are some that do the whole thing of, okay, I met this person as an adult too, but you say you are into film. Yeah. I have one friend that works in Hollywood. Please come and see. No, genuinely, they are trying. Or they go out of their way to be like, do you need a ride somewhere? Or you don't have a car, take my old car. Or they just try. They're doing this thing where they're obviously trying to show that, yes, I care for your mom, but I care for you. If he's not doing that, you owe him politeness and nothing like you more. Owe him just a basic civility, and any other thing you need to just, again, as long as, the thing is, this thing is a mind trip, because when you are actually
polite and doing your basic, your basic version of your bare minimum, it's difficult to start shouting. Because it's not that I didn't greet you, it's that I didn't kneel down, but I greeted you. So when you want to start doing this argument and I'm quiet, you look a fool. And it's crazy. But honestly, as long as all of you are in the same house, you can only be civil. I would have a conversation with your mom for whether it goes well or not. I would have that conversation so that she's clear that, listen, we all...
You see your life. Oh yeah, converse
Let me tell you the fact. The fact is that I was meant to be a princess wearing diamonds. Not all this...
what does that have to do with anything?
That as you were talking, I observed that they didn't even get us a crown with stone.
Yeah, stoneless.
This is a recession indicator. So they're no longer making tiara with all this diamante. Kilo day now. There's no stone on this. They just use this thing to deceive us.
Can you push it on your head? Just try. Maybe we'll share it half. I think we have to swap.
Oh, there. Right. Okay, see? Okay. Voila. See, 2 heads better than 1. That's what's going on. Here. 2 heads, I did better than 1. There's one I saw that I think can click. I think you guys should invest
this one.
In better crowns.
Before you read that one.
Okay, go
ahead. Should I read Whistleblower Light?
Yeah.
This person says, hi, FK and Joel. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day so far. Love you and the podcast. Some weeks ago, a friend of mine completed her master's degree and bought her first car after years of saving. I know how hard she works, so I organized... What's this? Sorry. I know how hard she worked, so I organized a photo shoot, bought her cake, and invited some friends over for a surprise dinner, which she really liked. Now, after that, it turns out that another friend of mine found that hurtful that I did it for friend A and not for her own achievement. For context, this other friend, B, bought a house about a month ago. Don't get me wrong, I'm really happy for her, bought her candles, and considered it an achievement. But I don't consider it an achievement because her family literally gave her all the money. I'm not glorifying suffering, but I'm also not going to perform a different level of pride. And I was minding my business, being happy for her when she mentioned unprovoked that the money was from a contract her mom was supposed to do, which she used to buy her children homes. Not even a family home, but houses for all 5 of her children. Mind you, I asked if the mom had finished the contract too, and she said, lol, who will remember? Am I a bad person for not thinking it just wasn't worth the effort? I can't say all these things because I'll sound like a hater. How do I say I'm not jealous? I'm just disappointed and it's unnecessary. You don't say anything.
Yeah, you don't say anything, like valid.
Yeah, so for instance, like...
You can't say anything.
You can't really say anything.
But valid.
So...
Like, between me and you, valid.
For people who don't understand the story, Fekemi saves money to buy a car.
Yeah.
My daddy gives me money to buy a house.
Yeah.
But my dad didn't just give me money to buy a house. The money came from a contract he didn't finish.
Yeah.
Right? So my dad gives me money.
So he diverted the money.
He diverted contract money to give me money to buy. And so a friend of ours, let's say Bolu, says, Fekemi just got a car.
Yeah.
Mado gets her a cake, does a little shebang. And I feel somehow like, but I just bought a house. But Bolu is like, but I know you bought the house.
I know you bought the house because of...
All the money came from a source, and 2,
and it's rubbish.
It was stolen source. It wasn't like, Momsy just gave you money to buy a house. So I think you don't say anything, but
I think you don't say anything, but you readjust.
But you readjust, and then you also don't have to make it say thing. Like your friend also feels somehow.
Yeah.
Have you ever behaved somehow because there's a somehow situation, and rather than facing the somehow situation, you try to make everybody else
be the problem.
Cosplay.
Yeah. So I think the thing is, you don't say anything, but you readjust. Now you understand who everybody is, and then you just adjust accordingly. A lot of life is adjusting accordingly.
Mm-hmm.
Once people show themselves, this person has shown themselves to be crazy, and no, because this is, I don't get things like this because when I have somehow feelings, most of the time I keep them to myself, except for the few more people I know who are more somehow than me.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Because if I'm feeling a type of way that, why would this person celebrate this other person that bought a car? There is a self-regulation that's supposed to go on where that thing does not leave your mouth because you know that what you're saying is very stupid. There's a part of yourself that's supposed to say, okay, but what you're saying doesn't make sense. you're upset because when you bought a house with stolen funds,
Nobody
instead of
clapped
you
for
to be shy, Mama should give away.
Forget giveaway. Some people will even like, you will some people that you bought the house. Say you're moving somewhere.
You just say you're moving. I can't lie, because if that kind of thing happens to me, I'll be too shy to
invite
tell anybody
anybody
that I know that I bought a house with a contract that my parents did. Imagine me telling you that my mommy did not finish the contract. A lot of you are not under torture. So how is this information coming out?
Bruh.
Because there's information, like, for example, one of my parents got a contract and they didn't finish it and they gave me money to buy a house, that you have to put me in intense torture for
As a
that
matter of
information.
fact, why did my mommy tell me?
Why would she?
Even
God bless
herself.
you. Everybody involved is actually crazy.
She contract on Shagba.
Imagine me buying a house with nonsense money and then yarning you that I use money to buy the house. As how? Where would I? Because the truth is that anybody that I know now that I tell I buy a house will have to ask me that, okay, so at which point are we going to the station? Because if you bought a house, like if you tell me that if I tell one of my friends that I use cash to buy a house, what they have to ask me is, okay.
This podcast will end because I actually have reported Fikemi to EFCC.
No, it's immediate.
I'm not joking.
No. It's actually immediate because the question is, okay, just tell me where the money came from. Don't worry yourself. Yeah, me so I can know what to do, so that when they come and ask me questions, like I can know. And when they come and ask me, by the way, the first time I'm going to see the fool. See, she's there. Because why is this information outside? We need to bring back certain types of societal shame.
Shame.
It needs to come back in droves, because why will you not be ashamed?
My dad told me that when he was in GCI, Government College Ibadan, there are some people that would go out of their way to prove a point about, like, so let's say their parents were in government and were chopping money. Like, they would go out of their way to be separate. Because it was a thing.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? Your dad is a thief and you're
here.
And you're flexing.
And that's why I'm like, societal shame needs to make you be like, okay, fine, you're not the one that stole it, but don't be part of it. Don't be part of it.
Or have expectations.
Okay, they gave you the house. Just keep it to you. It's not every time. There are things that, honestly, you should be too shy to say outside. All it takes is, I moved to a new house. Everybody's complaining about rent. My landlord even agreed. Finish. Nobody's going to check that shit.
Yeah.
Because as your friend, this is crazy that you've told me this, and that you even have the guts to feel bad that I'm celebrating somebody saving up for a car. Everybody in this situation is mad now. So sis, your feelings are valid. You need to just readjust.
Have you found the one you?
Yes, it was the very last one. You need to just readjust. Okay, this one says the pregnancy test, which I thought was going in a different direction. Hey guys, I really do enjoy the podcast. Funny enough, I started listening to it because of this babe I really liked then, and I wanted to use it as a way to talk to her and say we have things in common. The thing Sha casted. Anyway, well, thank God for him, he's still here. Anyway, my dilemma is regarding my babe, Abby X now. I've been with this babe for 3 years on and off, and we finally got back together late last year. And we're going strong till we broke up or took a break in May of this year. The reason for the breakup, children. She wants children and is willing to wait till I'm ready to have them. Whereas right now, I feel very strongly on not wanting to have children at all. For more context, she's 30 and I'm 22.
That is a succubus. 22 and 30.
Do you know my problem?
Do you know my
problem with people who write to this podcast?
You know when older woman say,
you people never say what you want to say. You don't talk on time. If you had spoken on time, I wouldn't have read the rest.
Fikemi. You know when younger women say that somebody
is... my chest just hooked.
When younger women say somebody is blood tonic. She's using that boy's blood. 22 and 30.
She's using your star. Sis, why will you do that?
He does not even have masters.
No, you know when this sister said that, she said she wants to wait. First of all, they've been on and off for 3 years. There's so many.
19? That's a real fuck.
That's a real fuck. Sis, you were 27 chasing a 19-year-old boy. I'm sorry. What, you were sending in provisions in uni?
Do you know when I was 19, my coffee was like 8 o'clock?
Anyway,
Get out of here.
Okay, please. This fool then says, so there's very little age gap there. Nothing crazy.
Men are so stupid. Boys are so stupid.
No, because I had to check this thing twice. Anyway, she says she doesn't mind waiting for 3 to 4 years for me to be ready, but I fear that my stance may not change even then. I fear hating an unborn child already. I know I'm only 22, so there's possibility of me changing my mind in the future, but my major fear is what if I don't? Do you think it's not that deep and I should keep on going till when the pressure to have kids becomes stronger and then I should leave? Eh?
I have a friend.
I really love this babe. 3 years no be beans. Let me know what you think. Special shout out to my talking stage that year, Precious, that let me know that this was her fifth podcast. I'm hooked now. Shout out to Precious for doing the Lord's work because you've brought this man to where we're going to change his life.
Okay, but of course 3 years is not beans when you're 22. That's half your life.
Bro, I just yesterday you were in primary school. No, sorry. No, I'm sorry. No. I
personally feel like, I personally believe in it. And maybe it's because I'm a little tipsy already, but like I bully women who date men that are too young. I bully them.
I'm sorry.
I will make you uncomfortable.
This is an uncomfortable.
I will make you uncomfortable.
Let me tell you what's uncomfortable about it. This way with 30, she's talking to his 22-year-old about having children. Which you want him to have his mates. He is a child. How do you want the child to carry a child?
Do you know that
that's a teen father?
Do you know that 22-year-old men still cry when they lose FIFA?
I want to explain to you, that is a teenage father.
There are 22-year-old boys that cry when they lose in FIFA. Do you know?
22! God, I beg.
No, you sure?
No.
Let his mother catch her.
No.
Let his mother catch her.
No, sis. So in these 3 years, how did you escape? You have to be shy, this babe. Guy.
I know he's not saying things. She wrote his dissertation. Bet.
Are you crazy?
She wrote his dissertation.
No, this girl is giving me pocket money. I swear, because let me just, what I want to say is they're talking about children.
22?
He said he really loves her. How you not go love her? Big mommy. How won't you love your big auntie? 22! No, you guys are I know they say young. You guys, let me not lie to you. This is one young guy is fine. Sis, if you're 30, you have no business.
22-year-old man.
I'm sorry to say you have no business with this boy. You have no business with this boy.
I think he feels...
Then you're putting children pressure on. Do you want the boy to faint?
He feels stuck. That's the problem. He feels stuck. You have to tell her that. And you know, all these lies you're telling. You
guys are in completely different places in life. It's not fair.
And you know, there's language that you use. You say, I'm not ready. I don't want them now. It's different from... So I'm not ready means if he comes...
I'll be okay.
I don't want the children. I don't want them.
Also, look, she's 30. She's ready because she's talking to you about children. And she says she'll wait till you're ready. In her mind, that's like 2-3 years mark. When you be 25 or more, you might not be ready till you're 35. Does she have 13 years in her?
I have a friend who is 35 and is talking about pregnancy.
Like, what are you saying? That's what I'm saying. About. My guys that are 34, 36 are like, which child? So what if he's not ready till he's 32? That's 10 years from now. Let's see, she wants to
40.
Maybe to be a case of Mary.
No, I don't. I think.
First of all, I think what you need to understand is the dynamics of your relationship are off. I'm sorry to say,
yes, but
we would say it if it was a man and a woman. A 30-year-old woman, I don't understand the business she has with you. I don't. I'm not surprised you love her.
The playing ground is so unequal.
The playing ground is deeply uneven. And I'm kind of glad to hear that you broke up, because if she's putting children pressure on you right now, that's insane. Which 22-year-old is ready to have children? What are you talking about?
Nonsense.
This is absolute. And the problem is nobody is telling her that this is rubbish.
Especially in a deeply patriarchal, money-obsessed society like Nigeria. The expectations that come with being a father of a child.
A father that I don't know that you're going to be able to handle. And you guys are just, no. I'm sorry.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Call Precious.
Well, yeah, Precious. If Precious is still here, she's probably saying, "Oh, you see." Precious right now is saying, "Oh, when I broke up with you, you thought that I was." You see, so this is the situation.
Nonsense.
I think Precious is probably your best bet because this big mommy. No, I'm sorry. It's just like if you're going to date a younger man, I feel like it's 8 years. God, I beg go. The whole podcast has finished in 8 years that you're using to date this man.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. Girl, no, I'm sorry. My bro. Thank you so much for listening to this podcast. I think you need to rethink the nature of your relationship with this woman.
Yeah.
It's weird. And the fact that you're under child pressure is weirder. Everything about it is a bit odd. I'm really sorry to say. Love is love, but it's somehow.
I have one last one and then we'll close. So this person calls themselves Strong Independent Lady. Says, hi, FK and Jols. Thank you for being best and well done on all the live shows. You guys are amazing. I have this issue where I was raised to be independent. My dad doesn't have a son. We're all girls, so he raised us to do everything ourselves. Changing tires, fixing electrical issues, and all that kind of stuff, thanks to my daddy. However, I feel like I've been raised very strong, and I don't have a feminine side, and people start to take advantage. I'm also the first daughter, by the way. Context, I have a boyfriend, and I really don't mind doing heavy lifting. So all that carrying load, opening the gates, all that kind of stuff. But I've recently been in the same space with my boyfriend and his sisters, who also have partners, and I'm seeing that they're kind of babied. Even my boyfriend babies his sisters. I'm starting to feel irritated at the whole thing, but I'm stuck between going on like this and starting to act like they do, saying I can't lift stuff when I know damn well I can. But I know it's not really me. However, I really want to be babied. What do you suggest I do? This is so good.
I love it so much.
I love this question
This
so
is
much.
such a great scenario that you are in because you see, in all your strong, they didn't teach you how to open your mouth and do what? Talk.
Yeah.
You need to say, listen, I thought that I was enjoying the way I was. And then I see the way your sister's boyfriend treat. I see the way you treat your sisters. And this is what I would like.
Before you even get there, I think it's one of those things where there's a scam that I also recently, there's been this incredible, I think it's great. This conversation, people think it's never ending, but I actually think it raises the level of the conversation goes up it's a very minuscule growth, but it goes up small. And it's about like feminism and women and all that kind of stuff. So at the moment, Ore is getting beat up on the internet for saying her mind. You know, Ore Akinde that crochets. I know Ore is not afraid of anybody.
What did she?
So she just says regular things. So for instance, the one that they were fighting her, she said that marriage is not a feminist institution. You can engage if you want, but
it's
you
not.
can't, based on I'm a feminist
you guys,
to marriage.
Come on, it's not a feminist. I'm sorry.
Can you be serious?
This is actually basic English. Marriage is not a feminist institution. This is a fact.
Yeah, you can be a feminist who got married.
Now,
but
you can marry.
But it's just not.
But even as I'm marrying with the awareness that this is not a feminist institution.
This is not a fair institution.
It was never created to be. So what's the shock in that?
Look, I don't like
people that cannot live in the duality of the situation. You want to be married, you have to acknowledge that, okay, this institution has different games that are not necessarily in line with your modern feminism. This is the fact.
Anyway, I think there is a way that we engage with some thoughts, ideas, behaviors that are quite frankly suboptimal. That's the only English I can use. It's suboptimal. If you're unhappy with the way you're currently being treated, there's a thing where the delusion has been that there is a way women behave that brings out the masculinity in men.
Yes. There's a way you sit.
You speak to the king.
There's a feminine. Do you know, the other day you know what happens? The problem is I'm really hating Instagram ads at the moment as a sidebar. There are too many and they're very aggressive. But because once you click on something, Instagram believes that this is the only thing that I want to see my whole life. Now, I clicked on, it was something about like growing your audience, newsletter audience, membership growth, blah, blah, blah. Something like that. I clicked it. Oh my God. have been harassed by coaches online of coaching. The things people are coaching, you can't. There's one person that is coaching people on how to get their children to eat vegetables.
Stop.
No, this is the extent of the coaching that anything online coaching. I'm looking at it. Instagram has also not clocked that I'm back in Lagos because it's the whites that I'm seeing. Anyway, I then saw this person who has a feminine coaching for business owners on a feminine way to attract clients. And all I just said was, okay, meaning what? That if you are a business person, to attract your business to business clients, there's a feminine aura.
It's a cash account.
Savings or current.
Savings or current.
So, and I just thought to myself, where have we bought? There are these videos online of people showing you how to walk to attract princess treatment. Definitely the way I walk is not attractive.
You know, if you can be much.
I'm up, I'm moving.
You have to see ACS imitating the way we walk. When she said when we're going on stage, you see the way we...
Do you know someone actually mentioned that why is it that you guys when they call your name to go to the stage,
just run.
You don't even do oh my god hi this one now
we just march and sit down.
We just march and sit down, and like because we're people who have things doing, and these venues they do charge.
They charge you guys. Our London show at one point. Me and Fake excited.
They said
Debbie came 5
minutes. I was saying something. Debbie said, no, you need to understand me. 5 minutes and we are finished. We need to be out of this. I said, you know what?
She said, they told her that, oh no, we can't continue. She's like, it's £2,500 for 30 minutes. We said, we're done.
She said that we're done. So the thing I just don't understand is like, we've been sold this lie that there's a way you do your voice. There's a way you walk. There's a way you posture. In fact, there's clothes you wear. There's
a tone of voice.
There's a tone of voice. I've seen that women should not be wearing bag jean. Because
and yet, look at you.
No, this is a barrel pant. They say women should not be wearing bag jean because it suggests masculinity. So if I mean, like now, me in these silly jeans I'm wearing now, what is telling men, this guy's looking at me now and saying, this is not princess. However, if I wore a feminine jean, of which, please, I need to point out that it's actually not jean. There's no
jeans.
Singular of jeans. We really need to we have to have a dialogue about the jean situation, because jeans is singular and plural. There is no jean. But in continuing what I'm saying, so all these things, and I feel like the problem this baby is having is that she thinks this thing is more than what it is.
Yeah, you have to ask for help.
It's like, and then also, not only do you have to say that, look, this is how I want to be treated, you then also have to create the room for it.
Yeah. So for instance, let me give you an example. Like I have a friend, and he was in the army for a while. So when he moved to America, he joined the army, and he lived in Texas. And you know, like southern, there's like a whole southern thing. So every time he comes to Lagos, he is so amused because he's very, very. I laugh about it because this is a very Yoruba boy that in some part of his formative years took on like quite like southern traits.
Yeah.
He can't believe how quickly I moved to like open doors. He has like he keeps saying like, yo, calm down. Like he's always like
wait.
And I said that this actually doesn't mean much to me. Like I understand that this is a thing, but it doesn't mean.
Hello, boys and girls.
Hello, all.
Now, as you know, we help people on this podcast. That's actually our primary function. We are benevolent queens. We give great advice, just nuggets of wisdom.
Yep.
And a lot of you ask, how can you get involved? How can you submit your issue? Tell them.
It's very simple. So wherever you're listening to this, in the description box, you literally see where you can submit your dilemma. Or you can go to our website, podcast.com, and see where you can submit your dilemmas. It's very simple. You literally just finish listening to the dilemmas or watching them. I know something is choking you. I want to say my own.
You want to say
I want to tell them.
You want to
I
write.
must.
So please feel so free.
Yeah.
Feel so free.
We're here for you.
Thank you so much.
Back to the episode.
Bye.
Much to me. But I actually have to remember that this means something to him.
So you have to.
So when we're together, like the once a year that we hang out, I actually have to remember that, okay, this means something to him. Like he takes it, not his slight, but he kind of feels like, oh, like this is what I need to do to show that I actually care about you as a person. Madam, you went somewhere. When you don't have to carry, if that's something that makes you feel good, when you enter the house, you tell him that, oh, please, can you help me get the stuff from the car? But you can't think that what you need to do is start carrying the things and then he'll now join you. What he's seeing over time is that you don't mind, right? And you have so there's a thing I've noticed. When you have a way you do your things, it's not that people don't want to help you, but they just don't want to aggravate you. Yes. Because what they think is helping is irritating. Yes. Right? So when you're a kid, it happens with your mom. You think you're helping your mom, but she starts shouting at you and you start crying because in your mind, it's like, oh, mommy does this, I'm helping her, only to realize that what you thought was helping.
I don't want you, like, it's all this, I don't want you in my kitchen. You're not helping me. You're actually scattering everything that I'm doing.
Or for instance, there are women who are extremely capable. And it's a great thing. It's a fantastic thing. But if it's because you didn't have help as opposed to you don't care for help, you have to learn to be collaborative. Yeah. So for instance, what's something that people like? You know, men, they like to pretend that they say stuff like, oh, I handle the mechanic, as if you handle the mechanic every day.
Also, the way they say they handle the mechanic, is it not phone call? Is it not phone call? Please, this thing, I'm like, please, you guys, we need to have a dialogue because it's not as if you've opened my bonnet.
Exactly. So for instance, this thing I said about...
that you called is a fool to you, is a fool to me.
So for instance, the one that she wrote that made me laugh is this thing of opening the gate.
Yeah.
Opening the gate is considered a very like manly thing to do. But opening the gate is also a very like Nigerian exercise, right?
Activity.
So let me give you an example that made me laugh so much. A friend of mine, because we have an automatic gate at home. So a friend of mine asked like, how much is in our house, opening the gate is not a manly activity because you usually press a button, right? So it's a man or a woman can do it. Anybody can do it because it's not like a heavy duty activity. But if that's something that makes you feel a way, you have to say it.
You say it.
Let me tell you what the fake man have to listen. I feel like half of this podcast is us repeating ourselves. We've said this thing so many times. Ladies, your dream involves you not having to say certain things. Do you know what the problem is? Nobody has to say it. So, for instance, if I tell Fake-Kemi that, oh, I'm in a relationship and this guy is really nice to me by doing this, that's one version of the story. Now, I might feel obligated to say, but I had to teach him. What is paining me will not be because I have to say that I have to teach him.
You have to teach him. Now, the problem is that what is more important to you? The story or the thing that
the action.
Do you want him to open the gate or not?
Do you want him to help you or not?
If your issue is you had to tell him, right now he's not opening the gate because he can see that you are a person who is capable of opening the gate. Maybe he has seen on Twitter that they say you should not disturb feminists.
Yes.
Feminists can open gates. Allow them to open the gate. Now you've had a change of heart. You've seen that his sisters don't go near the gate. They don't even know.
Oh, you realize
they don't even know how to open the gate.
It's not even someone that you realize that
actually going to open the gate is stressful.
It's annoying.
I don't want to do it all the time.
Yeah.
So then you say to him, listen, like I would really like for sometimes to be babied as well. Yeah. Actually, from time to time. Like you can just, I know I'm always forming strong, but let me know, like sometimes I don't want to do it. And then you give the opportunity. So now what happens? There's a horn. So you come and look yourself. He said, Shabi, this is it, sir. This is your chance. Go ahead.
No, but
this is how people learn. And I know you don't want it to be that. What you want is that as soon as he hears the horn, he's like, oh my God, don't worry,
what
baby.
Do you mean, oh my God?
I'm going.
He just jumps up.
Like,
a horn, man.
He's like, go. Don't move. I'm coming. But like the more realistic outcome for someone you've been dating for a while that has not been doing that is you're like,
my friend opened the gate.
Yeah, like, guy, remember that thing nice. This is what I mean. The gate, like there's somebody at the gate and one of us has to open it. I want it to be you.
This thing makes me laugh. I remember this same friend.
But to be fair, it's kind of you feel shy.
Yeah.
But it's okay. It's okay. Because if it's a person that likes you, you just have to feel shy the one time.
This same friend, I said, because again, I don't think of these things as the feminine thing. Yeah. So it doesn't bother me. I'll never forget. I was coming out of the car and I wanted to carry something. He said, just look at you. He said, just look at what you're doing. And that's when he realized that, like it's not something that means anything to me. But you're having to learn because you didn't realize that's something you might even have felt embarrassed before. But that's something you care about, right? Which one is? So for instance, in my house, my mother is very DIY. My mom loves doing hand. My dad, one time I never forget, this man came home. met my mother on a ladder. She was changing the batteries in the fire smoke detector. My dad just came upstairs. He said, all of us know what is worrying us. He said, everybody has the one that is doing them. And after that, they want you to say me, Kola. He said if she likes anything she likes, let her do. He said that's how you know that he's a man of God. He lets everybody do what they like.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Like I have a guy friend who, and the thing is, I used to think that it was like from a place of, to be fair, we used to have arguments about it because he was like, you're saying this thing, the patriarchy, but he was like, it's not that. I just feel like, so it's the kind of thing where I've gone to London now. He's like, I beg, help me get. And I promise you, has never asked me to get anything that is
substantial.
It's always, I just want this thing. Okay. Or like there's one chili oil that I use that there's 3 friends that I have that they're like, if you're buying for yourself, just buy for me. Okay. It's literally a small jar. So things like that, little things. This time it was, I need a couple of things from Boots. And I got it. So I got it and then I sent it to his house. And then he was like, oh, I don't think I have your British account number. So should I send the money to you? And I was like, which money? And he was like, my guy, we've been here for so long. I beg that I'll be feeling somehow. Let me just, and I was like, dude, I've told you, this thing that you do, the nature of friendship is that we can different. We can do this thing. But he was just like, yeah, but for me, it's not even about that. He was like, first of all, I have more money than you. So that's even.
Do you know what? Fair enough.
He was like, the thing is, number one, I actually have more money than you. And he was like, I would have wanted to do, I didn't get it. Like, he was like, if I was there, I'd have bought my own, I'd have bought your own. So now that I could not have bought my own, bought your own, for me, it's not. And you know, the funny thing is when he does this thing, it can never be the amount that I've said.
He'll add.
And,
my dad does that.
When you don't let him do it, it becomes this whole blah. He asked me like 4 times the account. I said, God, I beg, how much was it? And I'm just like, oh my God, it's fine. But the point is that different things are important to different people. Now, this one is a thing that benefits me. So now, in fact, that was before that I used to complain. Now I've sent all my details.
Yeah.
I'm okay. But I just think you need to talk. You need to talk. Yeah. It's somehow, but you just need to ask for what you want. He thinks you're a different kind of person based on how you've been. Yeah. And now you want something.
And don't be, I find it interesting how much embarrassment people carry within intimate relationships. So
don't be embarrassed.
Sitting down with your partner to say, oh, that I know that this sounds somehow, but I just really wish I was babied more.
Yeah. Can I say it was so funny? I went for lunch with my friend and he said to me that he feels somehow to say, based on allyship, he loves when he babe cooks for him. That he has felt so somehow that she doesn't do it often. And Dish did it. He was so happy that he started feeling embarrassed. And he was like, wow, am I this kind of man? And I was like, no, somebody's taking care of you.
Yeah. Like being taken care of feels great. I was like,
being taken care of you is nice. I was like, I know you don't demand it. But he was like, oh, my sweet guy.
It'd be like that.
I was like, so just say so. He was like, no. All of a sudden now it's now become, I was like, no, because we all know that that's not what you mean. But if you just say that this special occasion now that has happened, it was very nice. I think that's fine. So I think we all just need to be better at saying because this thing is on your mind. For you to write it to hear you.
You've thought about it. Maybe you feel, I know sometimes there's things that you think you don't care about. Maybe it has been at the back of your mind a little bit, but then maybe you go somewhere
and you see it.
With him and his sisters and you see that his sisters they seem, and I don't want to use the word dainty, but they seem less stressed. They seem less fussed. They don't seem like they have to prove their worth in a very specific way.
For you to notice like that, there's a difference in the way their partners are treating them, the way my partner is treating them. And I want that. Honestly, I think it's fine.
It's the same way my friend said that she realized, because in her, same thing, she realized that in her family, all domestic duties fall on women, but it was a small thing.
Yeah.
But it was in her now husband's house, the men pound yam, not the women, because it's just like a very physically.
Yeah.
You exert yourself more. But she said it wasn't just pounding yam; it was even things like amala that require like turning and like just exertion of energy. That the men do it, but in her own house, it was like anything domestic is women. So like even her brothers sweep. Why? Because you lift things when you sweep. Her husband's brothers sweep. They lift the things, they lift chairs and stuff when they sweep, which is heavy lifting. And that was when she now said, oh, like this is taken into account. It's still very like misogynistic and patriarchal in terms of who does what. But there's even at least there's an understanding that there's a physical difference between the two of us. And somebody might be more suited to. So you have to not be ashamed of the fact that.
To just point out that these are things.
Unless you think part of why he likes you is that,
yeah,
that type of
you know
woman.
what? It's funny because this, on the other side, we're talking about women wanting things from men. On the other side of men, it was a guy telling us that basically he had always wanted to be like one of those couples that he's a runner, that they run together, and his babe goes to the gym, so it's not as if she's not
into fitness.
But then he traveled and then went running with his friend and his friend's wife, and so he got back and he was like, wow. And she was like, I didn't know this was something you wanted. That I run by myself now, that I don't mind, like let's do it. And he was like, people at relationships are so complex, because it was on his mind for so long. He was just like,
before he
says it now, then it will be that he wants to force her to change her routine. This one, and I was like, oh my God, you've made this thing. So the thing they had to figure out was logistics, because they don't live obviously on the same road. They don't live super close by, and so they just made it a thing where they go to a nice place and run there.
Oh, that's cute.
Once a week. And I was like, what's so funny, because he had this conversation with like our friends like 4 times
before he spoke to her.
He spoke to her, and I was like, guy, I need you to understand that there are things that are big deals. This is just really... But he has come to the conclusion that he wants to be a person who does things with his partner. And so it started with the running, but he was like, he just wants to do stuff that is not like romantic stuff. Like, let's do a thing.
It's important. Yeah. I have a friend who only watches shows with his babe. Like, there's one show in particular. He only watches it with his babe. And he wants them to do certain things together, but they don't have enough in common for them to have like a range.
Yeah. So
he's like, oh, this one that we enjoy is
this
me and you.
It. Yeah,
it makes sense.
I think that's nice.
What's your favorite thing about us being 8?
As a sidebar, sorry, this should not be the episode. This is really a far cry. This is 12:21. Anyway, my favorite thing about us being 8 in particular, I don't know that 8 is my number. Like, it's a lovely number. But is it my number? I can't say. 7, I really like.
Okay, cool.
8 is just...
My favorite thing about us being 8 is that we don't have to justify certain billing.
Yeah, we don't. That's actually... Things have changed. Actually don't. And I'm just like, actually now... And now I'm more confident to say it. I'm like, no, you can't talk to me like this.
Yep.
Because we've actually passed the place that you think that we are.
Yeah.
Like, whether you think so or not, this is actually where we are. And now is not there's nobody's fighting. And what I love is not dragging with anybody. I'm like, no problem, but we can't do this kind of thing anymore. Sorry, for free? No, I don't do it. This is who we are. I really enjoy that. I also like that now we have like quite a big catalog.
Oh yeah.
Like for if someone starts listening today,
and we have 200 and something episodes to get
they're
through.
Clear. They're clear. I really like coming into something where there is like finding a show and seeing that there's 7 seasons, and you're like, yes, this thing is going to take me a long time. I really enjoy that. I also really can't believe it. It feels weird.
Really?
It just feels like 8. When did we start this thing? Sha. It feels big. It feels like a bigger number than... It feels like, like 4.
Yeah, it feels big.
It feels big. But I do like it. I think there's like there are things that come with getting older. I think it's fun.
Anyway, shout out to I Said What I Said. Shout out to...
Happy birthday to us. This is such a cute...
Oh, John, it is so cute.
This is such a cute situation. These mini cakes, these are really my jam.
They make me so happy.
They're so small. You can just eat one by yourself. Not advisable.
No advice.
Just as a caveat.
But I am going to eat mine by myself. We can share for a chemical zone, but I'm eating mine by myself.
But not advisable. Likely eating it by myself.
Yeah, this is so
cute. I want to tell you guys that Dekle has been preserving a cake someone sent him since last week because he hasn't been around, and he has been messaging me every day to check on the cake. He's like, is it okay? I'm like, it's in the freezer. He's like, okay, but now we've put half of a cake in the freezer, half of a cake in the fridge, so we can see how it behaves.
Makes sense.
No, this is like an 8-inch cake. It's very serious. Anyway.
This is so cool. I'm so happy.
So cute.
Congratulations to us for Ikemi.
Happy birthday to us.
We've done. Cheers.
Do you buy us a birthday present?
Not today. Not yet. I'll buy you a birthday. I'll buy you something.
Actually, we should do that. We should do an exchange of gifts.
No, the other way.
I think that's what we should do. I'm going to do that.
But yeah. All right, guys, you know what to do. This has been this episode is great. We obviously had to do like a solo episode for
just to
for you guys back. The episode with next week's episode.
I'm so excited about next week's episode. It was so good.
It was so good.
It was so good. You finish something and you're like, I'm good. I said no, we are good.
We are too good.
No, we are too good. I said this is how you know that people are good. No, it was really
What
fun.
do we want for a birthday present? You people should send it to, when people are shy, send this thing to everybody in your contact. Send the link of the podcast to everybody in your contact.
Can you actually do that? It's really embarrassing. But can you I said a broadcast? You guys, this is so crazy. Because you know what would be crazy if I get it?
Send this as everybody in your contact list.
Okay, should we make it? Maybe everybody's a bit crazy.
Okay, 100 people.
Jola, please.
No, but on average, 10K. Do you want to blow or not?
If everyone directly, you know what? Let's do a different thing. I need you to send this to 2 people, as in specific. No, listen to me. It's not a broadcasting for specific reasons. That you need to listen to this podcast for
choose an episode. Choose 10 people that don't listen to the podcast, and then choose an episode and be like, I will fool them. We'll deceive them.
We'll deceive them into thinking that
we have sense.
Upstanding.
Yes,
and then they'll be stuck.
Yeah, a good episode would be the one with what's his name. The guy who ran for governor.
No, that's too serious.
But okay, if you send that one, people think that's too serious.
That's for serious people. Imagine an unserious person. You have to start with the episode with
Dima.
Yeah. You have to start with a noise-making episode.
Send them one with Dima. Everybody loves her.
Send them one with Dima. Another noise-making episode. Send them one with Timisan. Send them. There are many noise-making episodes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, we'll see you next week. This has been so fun. Congratulations to us. You guys too are the ones that helped us grow. So congrats to you too. See you next week.
This is a hard sign.
This episode of I Said What I Said is brought to you by Carousel Networks. Our producer is Debbie Romeo. Our social media manager is Najite Anira. Our cinematographers are Rotimi Kujure and Divine Nabuko. Our production assistant is Theresa Ajayi. Our sound engineer is David Kenny. Our camera assistants are Mark Uko and Pascal Ona, as well as the lovely Abolade Uluyede. This episode is brought to you by Madala, and this season is brought to you by Missan.